What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Josh. I am just your average Joe day trader. I see we have a bunch of people live in here already, which is totally awesome. Thank you so much for being here tonight. It's going to be an interesting night, right? We're going to get to see exactly what's going to happen with the SPY, with the market, the broader market. I've got my own feeling, my own sentiment on it right now. I'm not really sure how it's going to play out for us. And get that camera opened up so you can actually see me on here tonight. But let's go to the comments real quick here. Let's see what we got going on. We got Jai in the house. John, what's up, John? Both Johns. John and John. What's going on, gentlemen? Good to see you in the live. Yeah, what are we looking for tomorrow? We're going to talk a lot about that. We're going to kind of see what's going to happen with the SPY tonight. Let me actually, I was looking at Meta, so let me go ahead and get off Meta and let's go to the SPY itself. Actually, we're going to go to my watch list. Let's get the SPY that way. Here we go. Everything's running a little slow right now. Now this is the weekly chart that you're seeing right here. It doesn't look bad at all, right? And actually, I was talking about it in one of my videos from last week. But let's go to the 15-minute chart and kind of see what's going on. Hey, Paulette, welcome. Welcome. What's up, Mr. Palladino? Good to see everybody live tonight. I hope you are warm. And if you're logging in for the first time or you are watching this video after the fact, not live with us, then just know I am praying for you and your safety in this wicked cold that you're experiencing up there. I know that the Discord members were sharing pictures today from all over the country, which was really awesome to kind of see what's going on. We're down here in South Florida, and it was a bitter with the wind chill, 20 something degrees today. I know that we've got some Discord family up in the, let's see, Western Florida area. And I know it's super cold, colder there than it is here in South Florida. I'm down here in the Palm Beaches. But hey, 39 degrees in the morning with a wind chill of 27 is no joke for the state of Florida. I left New York for that, to have the warmer weather. So let's kind of see what's going on. You know, we're not there yet on our opening market for the SPY yet, but you know, overall, I'm just going to tell you. Let's see. Oh, Antonio, what's up, brother? Welcome, Lynn. Welcome. So glad to have you all in here tonight. Thank you so much for being dedicated and loyal. It's such a blessing to see you every single Sunday night in here. Just for the regulars that are in here, and for those of you watching this as a recorded video, there will not be a live. Probably the next 2 weeks, I will be heading out of the country Saturday. My wife and I will be celebrating our 15-year wedding anniversary. We're very blessed to have found each other, and we are a blended family. Some of you know a lot more about that story than others, but you know, blended family, 4 awesome young men that are our sons, our daughter-in-law, granddaughter. So an awesome life together. Of course, you know that we very strongly believe and follow Jesus. So that is the support and the foundation of our lives. And and a lot of amazing things. So we'll be out and we'll not be doing lives, but I will be in the Discord every day, keeping up with that. Thanks, Antonio. And we'll be also posting the levels for you all. So make sure that through the week next week, well, this week I'm here. Next week, starting the 7th, I'll be out and about traveling. So send me any stock tickers you want me to chart for you, because I will be doing that. My wife already knows that we're bringing the MacBook with us, and we'll spend some time charting and seeing what's going on in the market. Can't take our eye off the ball on that. You know, I'll still be doing that. But all right, we got just less than a minute left here on the SPY, or on the market opening up. I don't know. I know we did a post in here. Let's see what the answer was. If I can get back to it, I don't think I can get to it. Oh, 80% up. 80% of you say we're going to be up, huh? All right, let's see. Well, there it is. Your 80% is correct. We are up, and I'm excited if that holds. It did drop to 690, but we're sitting at 691.01. You know, not quite where we closed the market on Friday. But listen, I know when we were looking at it, let's just kind of go to the markets real quick and see. You know, futures were down and showing red. So we'll see what happens through the night. but I'm very happy to see that. I'm actually kind of surprised. I'm going to be honest with you. I was expecting the opposite. I was expecting a gap down and us having to kind of work our way back up for the night. So good for you. You all win a prize for guessing that we would gap up tonight. Very, very excited to see that. And the prize is we get to spend all this quality time together tonight. So thank you for that. You can see the SPY is actually pumping on the 5 minute right now. You know, trying to push its way back up, and that is a good thing. But I'm going to warn you, just going to tell you all to be very careful. Look at that beautiful candle, right? Look at that beautiful candle. Wow. I am going to warn you though, there are many, many stocks that will potentially run down. Look at even the RSI right now, and I don't know if you follow the relative strength index like I do, but below 30 is a great opportunity to get in. Over 70, you want to get out. That's the difference between overbought and oversold. There's actually a video coming out the week I am on vacation about the RSI, about relative strength index. So take a look for that. There's actually several videos that are going to be posted next week. We've got one on how to day trade, kind of a part one. Look at this thing go. Look at the SPY right now. Go. How to day trade. I'm going to talk more about dollar cost averaging. I'm going to talk about, using a paper trading account, which is something that many people miss. But I feel it's very important to talk about that. So I have a training video on how to do that, how to access it on TradingView and on Webull. But good things, all things new traders should be doing. I know that most of the folks in here right now, and we've got a good amount of people live, are a little bit more experienced. So you may be beyond the day trading or paper trading. But I will just say in that it's always good to go back to paper trading because you want to keep practice, and for me, I'm doing options. So all right, Lynn called it out. SoFi is dropping. I threw this out to the Discord group yesterday. I believe, and I'm not sure if it's tonight, it may very well be tonight into tomorrow, but I believe that SoFi is going to get back down to pretty much around the $19 range. And for me, $19 is that bounce range. That is the range I'm looking at potentially for the uptrend. But I'm going to tell you right now, options traders are going to be very smart probably tomorrow morning riding SoFi down. And there's a lot of analysts out there based on some research I did that say that SoFi could potentially hit 17. Now, there was a comment about how the reason why SoFi and even MarketBeat, if you watch the folks at MarketBeat, we're talking about SoFi. The reason why they think it's dropping down is because if you go back to January when the decision was made by the president on banks not being able to charge more than 10%, for interest rate, that's a very good thing for individuals, but actually not a very good thing overall. And let me explain why. I personally, my wife and I, we live, and I want to be careful how I say this. We never carry a debt on our credit card. So I'm going to make a comment that says we live off credit cards, but we don't ever have a debt on credit cards. So for example, I will pay for everything I can this month on my credit card to gain points, to gain miles, to gain, cash back incentives, etc. And then I pay it off in full at the end of the month because I'm not going to carry a balance and pay that interest rate, right? I'm not the bank's favorite friend or the credit card's favorite friend because I don't carry, we don't like to have anything where we owe interest. And so what actually happens is by the fact that these credit card companies and banks are on these restrictions now, we're saying, well, you can't charge more than 10%. Well, where the money comes from that pays me cash back for using my credit card all the time and paying it off right away is from people that carry an interest rate or a debt. And it sounds terrible. I learned all about that recently. And it kind of, you don't like to hear that, right? You don't hear that potentially I'm getting cash back on my purchases because I'm using my credit card while somebody else is carrying a debt, paying a 30%, 29%, 28% interest rate, debt rate. But that's how it works. So anyway, enough about that. I think SoFi has the potential tomorrow morning and through probably earlier through this week to drop towards 19, maybe lower. And the idea is once it bounces at that 19 range, if you see confirmation, then it's going to potentially then take off for the run, and it could head up in the upward direction, but it's got to get down there first. And if you're an options player and you buy calls, then you would want to buy calls at least 30 days, a 30-day expiration, and figure you're going to cash out within a week or two to get out of them before something happens and it reverses. But that's not advice. Don't go run and buy anything or sell anything or do anything because of that. I'm just sharing with you how I'm looking at it myself. Let's get into the comments a little bit. Thank you for all the for the congratulations on that, for the anniversary. Yes, SoFi. Cars and Coffee with Raul. Okay, what's going on, brother? What do we think about APLD this week? Well, I'm hoping it turns and runs. Let's take a look at it. I think personally 32, if it's not there already, is probably bottom. Don't quote me on that, but I'm seeing 32 as a potential bottom. And look what it did. 31.81 tonight as the bottom low. That is super hurtful. It's at 32.78 right now. If it can hold that 32, and I'm going to chart that out for us tonight, Discord group, and I'm going to put those levels out there for us. I haven't gotten that far today. Working on a few other things, prepping for the vacation time, and in the channel. But I think that potentially this $32, right at the $32 range, hopefully is the bottom. Now, you have to understand it did wick down to 31.81 and broke that 32 that I was considering a support level. So just a wick. The wick doesn't necessarily mean that is a broken support level. A wick below a level just means that it wicked below the level, but it immediately pushed back up. And this is with the gap up, right, of the night. So APLD, we see BBI is on my mind also. ABLD did not gap up tonight. APLD dropped down, just like SoFi dropped down. And let's actually go to the AJDT. And this is the last week you're all going to see this AJDT best day trade list, which we started in December into January. The new list, Discord members, AJDT fam, you will have it before February 7th, which is when the video releases to all the subscribers on the best AJDT list. Those are the stocks you should be looking at and trending. But APLD for me, I think and am really, I'm a little concerned about it. We hit $42. We're down almost 10, 11 bucks based on the high, right where we were. So, I see this pull back down as not a great sign for what it's going to do tomorrow. I think we will see at the opening bell, it drop down like it does most mornings in the opening bell. Obviously, this has been a rough last few days. These were the pump days where we hit 42.10. Riding the CoreWeave's results, based on that deal. But you got to also remember that while APLD is continuing to do this pullback with some panic selling, with people trying to get out of it, my whole thing is that we are waiting for Wes Cummings, the CEO, to make the real announcement. Now, he's gotten in trouble in the past for making announcements about things that didn't come to fruition. That's why he's a little bit cautious. Nothing was announced during earnings about the Louisiana deal, even though they haven't announced yet it's actually Louisiana, but I had shared with you all the actual paperwork showing the LLC opened up in Louisiana. They're supposed to be breaking ground, right now, and maybe a little bit into this month, February. Happy February. So we'll see what happens with APLD, but we're going to have to keep an eye on it to see what it definitely does. I'm in calls that expire the end of this week, so we'll see. That might be a fail. I may have to dollar cost average on them this week and get down on them a little bit to minimize some of the exposure. But I have multiple levels of calls at different strike prices, so we'll see. Those are sort of working with each other to hedge, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, ABLD is down. Let's just look at these real quick. Tesla down. See, all right, so hold on a second. Let's go to the SPY for a minute, because if we're seeing all of this red, okay, well, there you go. The S&P 500 is, in fact, dropping back down. So some of you have even changed your answer. How funny, about whether you think the S&P 500 is going to gap up or gap down. We were at 80%. Now we're at what my son loves to tease me about all the time, 67%. I hate that. but it is now pulling back. The S&P 500 is dropping. It's down to 689.63. It just broke this. There it goes. It just broke this support level, 689.42. So not a great story there. DIA, which is the Dow Jones Industrial ETF, is up. Look at that. That's up right now. Let's go back to the best day trade list. All right, so Tesla pushing down, AMD pushing down. And I'll be honest with you, this is what I was expecting to see. I was thrown off. Almost lost my whole mental script to talk to you about a down market when I saw the S&P 500 pumping, but it's not now, everybody. It is running down. Nvidia's running down. Palantir, look at this monster red candle. Palantir running down. This is ugly. And you know, if you've been watching it all weekend, Bitcoin also significantly down. All right, 77,000 from 97,000. This is the daily. If we go to the 15-minute chart, you just look and see, it's just such choppy sideways action. But look what it did literally, through the weekend, just coming down, coming down. I know they call it, what do they call that? The crypto winter. We're definitely in a crypto winter. The cold air brought Bitcoin down significantly. A lot of people are saying this has the potential to go to 30 to 50,000. I will tell you right now, if I see this thing getting below 50,000, I am a buyer. We'll be working out some things here at home to get back into Bitcoin for the long term, for the very long term, because when we get out of this crypto winter, Bitcoin will, in my opinion, run back up to 80, 90, 100. And they have stated, many people, including Tom Lee, who I think is right 50% of the time, maybe a little bit more. But when he talks about crypto, I agree with a lot of what he shares. Excuse me. I agree with a lot of what he shares, and I do see Bitcoin potentially, next year or this year into next year, closer to 110, 120, 150,000. You can get in at 50, even 6, even right now, even if you bought it now and just set it and forgot about it at 76,000 compared to where it was. I mean, honestly, look at this, y'all. 126,000 was the high. And it's nasty. I mean, it's nasty. And look at this major gap between yesterday through the weekend to today. Obviously, it's not showing the weekend hours in there, but there's a lot going on with Bitcoin. So, what other questions do you have? Throw them in there. Comments, questions. Let's see what else we got going on in here. There's a couple other companies. Oh, Bloom Energy. So let me share this one with you very quickly. And let me see yeah, there you go. So Bloom Energy is one that I am keeping a good eye on. I know that several people mentioned to me they had actually bought it in the 40s, which is incredible. Great job getting in it. But sitting at $146.23 right now, in this overnight market, this is the midpoint for support or resistance in the channel. See something here. Yeah, and I think that maybe we see somewhat of a pullback to this, support level, but it's been on this constant thrust continuation up, and I don't think Bloom Energy is going to be dropping down anytime soon. Looks like it could be a very good investment. So, keep your eyes on those. All right, let's see. John's got a question. What's a good stock to get into that follows Bitcoin, right? So probably my favorite. There are several. And then let me actually see. I think I have a watch list for Bitcoin miners. Here you go. So number one, first and foremost, is BMNR. Okay, this is my all-time favorite stock to run with Bitcoin. Look at the RSI on it down here below 40. It's got a lot of room with Bitcoin to run when it does. It's not a 24-hour stock, so we have to wait tomorrow to see what it does. But for me, I'm a BMNR fan. I like BMNR when Bitcoin runs, BMNR runs. Let's go to the weekly so you can see that. And you can see right here, look at this amazing pump when Bitcoin ran to 126, and that's 126,000. BMNR's was about $160 per share, right? And then it came back down with Bitcoin. So I like BMNR, and I think that if you were going to take a safe position now, the other thing about it is, though, remember, it's not financial advice. BMNR could also pull back, so you got to be very careful because it is running with Bitcoin, and you see all my noise all over here. Which actually, I'm gonna go ahead and clear this because I need to redo that anyway on BMNR tonight. But right now in the daily, the weekly, the daily, it's pulling back with Bitcoin. So when Bitcoin turns, BMNR is going to go up. Another one is Riot. That's another good one to keep your eye on. Wolf, obviously, TerraWolf, WULF is another one to keep your eye on. CLSK, Clean Spark Energies, that's a good one that potentially is affected by Bitcoin. Mara, BM&R has their T-Rex 2X long, which is BMNU. So this is only $3.65. So there's potential to make a lot of money in that. But remember, very volatile, very, very, elevator up, elevator down. BTCS is a Bitcoin play. You see that's running down. That's $2.25 and it's running down hard because of Bitcoin. BTBT, which is Bit Digital, is another one that you can follow. And SOLI is another one, another crypto stock that tends to follow. Although you can see here on the daily, it may be actually running opposite Bitcoin right now. No, it's not. But kind of a hard one to path, hard one to follow. Very cheap, 90 cents, but you got to be super careful with this one. And see, and Lynn, Lynn is MSTZ. Let's take a look at MSTZ. TZ, the 2X for MSTR. Man, my internet is slow. Look at that thing. Wow. Are you in it, Lynn? Did you already? I know you love to play this in the pre-market or after hours. I'm not sure if you do it in after hours at all. Maybe pre-market, but you're right. It's up there. $18.30 right now. Nice. Very nice on that pump. You got it, John. All right. Let's. I did want to look at BBAI really quick. BBAI is one that is not concerning. I'm not concerned about it. I still see it at $10 stock, but look where it's at right now, $4.96. I think we're going to see this to potentially be a great opportunity for a buy zone on it because it has hit this bottom level, $5.04, $5.03 right here. And even though it is down a little bit, it's somewhat holding on this on the daily from Friday. When we look at the 15-minute, and you see it did break below that 503, so it's at 496. This doesn't scare me much, although it did open a second candle down. We'd have to see what's happening here before we knew if it was going to continue to run down or not. And I'd have to do some new levels on this because we haven't been this low in quite some time on BBAI. So let's see if I have a lower level. I don't think I do, to be honest with you. It's the lowest it's been in a while. 465 is your next bottom. Basically, it's more like 473 would be this line here. That would be your next level that we would need to support and hold. But it's back. It's at 496. So we'll see what happens with BBAI. All right. How's SEG? Oh, SEG. Yeah, SEG's 24 hours, right? Let's look at SEGG. This is one that Lynn actually turned us on to, and a lot of us play this. This is kind of my fun stock, $1.96. Not a 24-hour, so we don't have, at least on Webull, I don't. I understand on another brokerage account, it is a 24-hour stock. So if you have access to it, this could be potentially running up pretty good, but that's obviously the daily. So. All right, let's just for the fun of it, let's go to APLD. Let's take a look at let's do the box strategy on APLD. Man, this thing is working really slow today. Hopefully the video is fine for you streaming. And let's see here, how we're doing on time. We're doing good. We're doing good. All right, so let's go ahead and let's do the box strategy in this. I haven't done box strategy with you all in a while, so we're going to do the box strategy. Box strategy, if you're first time here, and if you are first time here, thank you so much for being here live with us. Thank you for watching. The video may be recorded after the fact. Hit that subscribe button for me. Hit the likes. Let's get as many likes as we can. Hit the notification bell so you'll be notified every time we upload a new video. And if you're interested in, you can go down below in the description. There is a link for our AJDT family Discord. But let's go ahead with the box strategy. So the way the box strategy works for me is you're always taking the previous day, and I can tell you that the previous day box strategy for APLD has already failed us because of the drop, but we're going to do it anyway, just so you can see how it works, because by the morning time we may wake up and be back in the box strategy. So you're going to grab your highest point of the trading day, which is right here, and we're going to pull that down. You got to participate with me though. There you go. Come on. Not a happy camper. Let's try that again. We're going to go here, hit the top, pull it down all the way to the lowest. And that may not be the lowest, so we're going to lock it there for a minute. And then we're going to pull this up. Okay, that is the lowest of the last trading day. And you see I already have it set so it pulls across for me. Now what you're doing is, and ignore these support resistance levels. I'm leaving those in there based on the prior day's levels. But what you in essence want to do is you want to find your midpoint. So we'll just take a guess at it. Okay, not to do a lot of math, but we're just going to set that as our midpoint. And what we're hoping to see, and you can see we already got our first green candle, which is good in the 15-minute, to try to bring this back up. Well, on the 5-minute, we got 3 nice green candles trying to push APLD back up a little bit. But what you want to do is you want to get APLD to run back up into our box. We want to see the box strategy at its best, which means right now, based on these levels in the morning, we want to see where it's at in this box. It may already be way down here somewhere, and we'll have to re-evaluate the support and resistance levels. But the idea is that if it pushes and it's in the box, if it's at the bottom, then you consider this almost like the RSI, where it is at the bottom right now, and you can see it's curving and curling up. But you want to buy it or get it here and run it up. If it gets to this point, midpoint, where it rejects and starts dropping down, that is your sell point. You get out of it there. You wait and watch. If it breaks through, you get your confirmation on your second candle. Usually I'm on the 3-minute between the 1, 3, and 5. And you want to see that confirmation. If it breaks above this area and it keeps going, you're running it until it gets to this level. The thing is, if you are here in the middle, okay, and obviously we have some noise here with some other support resistance levels, but in the box strategy from the prior day market trading, if you're in the middle here, you don't take a trade. I actually did a video on there where I basically am teaching everybody how to sort of do this. You do not trade the middle between a support and resistance level. You wait for confirmation above or below a support or resistance level. So as long as it gets here in the box strategy and breaks above, then this could even be, for me, the key to buy to push back up. But you are somewhat in the middle here, and that's the whole thing about the box strategy. It's looking for the momentum, making sure you have the volume, right? You see we have very low volume right now. Obviously, it's the middle of the, late at night. But this is what we're looking for in the box strategy. One other thing to bring back to your focus and attention, and it has had a very nasty run so far the last few days, but DraftKings coming up on Super Bowl. You want to keep your eyes on DraftKings. DraftKings is one that most people, and look at this, been nasty the last many days running down, and it's got earnings coming up. So I had called this out a while ago as potentially a good buy to run up towards Super Bowl, but we never got a good, clean confirmation of an uptrend. It's still in a downtrend. We're going to have to see what the whole broader market does with this major drop the last few days. I mean, the market is literally just basically in fear right now. And that's in essence what's going on with the market. Is it is running in fear. And not a great thing, right? Not a happy thing, but where there is fear and where people are panic selling, well, my saying is, when there's blood in the street, there's time to eat, even when it's your own blood. So I know Chris Sane says blood in the street, time to eat, because, when there's fear in the streets, the wealthy are buying everything up, and that's where they're getting rich. And when the greed people are greedy, that's when you are selling and not buying anything. You're waiting for the fear. So just remember that. Keep an eye on that. So overall, I think we're seeing what we thought we were going to see. We opened up sort of very different than we are right now. S&P 500 is still on this downtrend. All right, we have a bit of green. Just APLD is following it as well, but we're still down here. We've got to at least get back to you know the closing high where we were. We've got to get back there and hopefully see that upward potential. We hit 700. We got to that 700 mark, that high 700 mark. Let me get back on auto. Let me go to the weekly on it. We hit literally all the way above there. I know it says 697.84. Okay, I think we danced with 700. The actual SPY, SPY, which is not the ETF. Where is it? Why are you not showing me my SPY? Because that's the ETF. Let's go S and the weird. Not showing it to us. There we go. There it is. SPX. All right. There you go. Well, you can see on there, we did touch that 7,000 mark, $7,002 on the actual SPX, which is the legit SPY S&P 500 index. It's, we trade the ETF, so a little bit different, but it did hit that high. So we're going to kind of see what this does. And at the end of the day, remember, even though we're on a pretty nasty down run right now, it's still on a pretty amazing up run right now. So we're going to have to kind of see what happens with it overall. It is on the weekly, it is flat on the RSI. On the daily, it is curving down on the RSI. It dropped, came back up, it's dropping down. So we're going to see what tomorrow holds, but I think tomorrow we see a red day. So that's my opinion. Take it for what it's worth. I am just an average Joe day trader, and it's just my opinion. Any final questions, thoughts, anything anybody wants us to look at before we end this live stream for the night? Yeah, I'm just going to wait a minute and give it a minute because there is a bit of a delay before you all see or hear me. And let me look at one more thing here while we're waiting to see if there's any other comments. All right. John says each time you do a box strategy, I'm a little better at understanding it. So sometime can you put or place the scalp map to the box strategy? Maybe that will help me more at explaining that more. Absolutely. I think I even did a video on the scalp map the other day and posted. I need to actually get with my engineer. That's something that I keep forgetting about, is having a scalp map available. And actually, we can do, let's see if I can do this. This is going to be interesting, but let me go to my scalp maps in here and see if I can pull it over. Let's see if this works. All right, so let me see if I can get this over here, and I'll wait a minute to see if you can see it. Let's see if it comes up on the screen. There it is. Boom. Awesome. All right, so this is what John's talking about. Obviously, we're not going to do it right now. I've got to run a lot of these, and you can see all the work and stuff I do every day. I'm running all kinds of different things that I save to my what is this called, notes, my Apple Notes. I've got things I'm doing for the Discord now, running different politicians. I'm looking at different committees. I'm trying to connect the committees to trades. Oh, that was one thing I did want to share with you before we get off of here. But yes, you know what, John, I will plan on the next one to have an AJDT intraday scalp map available and done, and we'll chart it together so you can see how to take the map and put it on your chart. For sure, for sure. But I did want to share this, and I don't think I have it in here, but I think what I can do is I think we can go to the Discord for a minute because this was working. All right, boom. Oh, yes, thank you. Okay, so a couple things I wanted to share with you very quickly as well, and then I promise to let you all go. But this is what's coming up next week. So expect Monday before opening. We've got Disney, TSN, a bunch of different stocks, and I share with the Discord also all the earnings plays for the week. So you get to see the entire earnings map when you're in the Discord with us. And you can see which companies are going to present their earnings before and after. This is not it. This is from Tenant Group, which also provides the full week. We've got, orange means that there is some medium risk to the market, running down. Red is high. We have the JOLTS, the job opening report, on Tuesday. We've got the employment change ADP report on Wednesday, and the ISM non-manufacturing index report. A lot of red reports, jobless claims on February 5th, Thursday. And man, look at Friday. If it's like, already, the market runs down typically on Fridays, but stuff coming down. But that's not what I wanted to show you. What I wanted to show you in here. So this is the AJDT Discord. And what you're seeing in here is basically all of our channels. And I know I've had certain people tell me, like, hey, don't put too many channels. It makes it confusing. I agree. I'm part of some other Discords, and it does get confusing. But we have in here now politicians trades, where I post the different politicians trades, which is something more I'm still working on. This was kind of a test. Insider trading, which I did post tonight, and I'm going to share those with you in a little bit more detail. And Discord group, don't worry, I'm going to share that with you also, as far as the insider trading for CEOs that was pulled tonight. Let me just see if I can pull this up on my phone. Where are you? Where are you? All right, here we go. And this is actually pretty cool. There's some pretty interesting ones tonight that pulled up on my reporting. And I have this run for me every night, no matter whether it's a weekend day or a weekday. But yes. Oh, yeah. We'll talk about Lyft for a minute. Not a fan right now, Antonio. Stocks with Antonio. Not a fan, brother. We'll talk about it for a second. And by the way, Stocks with Antonio, if you're interested, check out his channel. He's got a really good channel going too. He did a video today on comparing APLD to SoFi. And I thought you did very, very good job on that, brother. Very well done. And I enjoy listening to your channel as well. United Health Group just had, and this is a huge high signal, United Health Group, John F. Rex, he's the chief financial officer for United Health Group, actually just bought 6,000 shares at an average price of $524.30. You're talking $3.15 million. All right. And there was no options exercise on this. This is straight purchase shares. And that trade completed on Friday, the 30th. So take a look at United Healthcare. I'm watching for leap calls on United Healthcare because I'm telling you, it's going to get back up there again. And that just shows that, the CFO making a huge buy like that is, showing that there's strong internal confidence, despite all this healthcare policy noise and everything that's going on. Another one is one that I actually posted and mentioned I think I put it in the channel for subscribers and for the Discord group, but that's Now, with NOW is the ticker. That's ServiceNow Incorporated. And the chief financial officer actually just, let's see, he just purchased 4,200 shares at an average price of $735.80. That's not right. Something's wrong there for ServiceNow because it's not a $700 stock. I got to take a look at that and figure out where did my AI fail me. But either way, we did have an insider purchase where Gina Mastantuono did make a purchase January 30th. So the dollar amount is incorrect there. Eli Lilly is right though. Karen S. Lynch did purchase on January 30th 2,000 shares at a $1.42 million value. That is very positive sentiment. Regions Financial Corporation, also January 30th. That CEO did some cluster buying. It was a CEO, the CFO, and a director all made purchases valuing of over $1.6 million. Take a look at that stock. Let's see, Spencer Newman. Spencer Newman, the chief financial officer, actually sold 42,000 shares of Netflix. All right. So, wow, that is interesting and not exciting. Here is the United Healthcare. Let me see here. Hold on one second, because this thing continued to update more and more and more. Let's see. Don't do that to me. I even had Home Depot in here. So give me one second. Here we go. All right. Um, all right. JP Morgan Chase and Company, an executive by Jennifer Peepsiak. She is the co-CEO and Commercial and Investment Bank of Commercial and Investment Banking. January 30th, she bought 18,000 shares valued over $3 million. And let's see, we can interpret that she's a senior franchise head deploying seven-figure discretionary capital, strong signal for earnings durability and capital market activity. The Home Depot, Richard V. McPhail, the chief financial officer, actually bought 6,500 shares of Home Depot stock valued at 2.31 million. There you go. Thank you, John. 117. Yeah, I don't know why he gave me 700 something, but 117 bucks. 2.3 million dollars there, and that's a very clean discretionary signal for them. Uber Technologies, I know that Jai asked about Lyft. Give me one second so we can talk about Lyft. Or no, it was with Antonio asked about Lyft. But Uber, Juan Ling Martello, the director, on January 30th, he actually bought 40,000 shares of Uber, valued at $2.52 million. Coinbase Global, this is interesting because you look at what's happening with crypto and Bitcoin and all that. He sold off 95,000 shares for $14.1 million. 95,000 shares. Yeah, not that's not a very good sign for coin. So keep your eye on that as well. And let me look real quick here and just see your comments real quick. I don't want to miss anything. Um, Yeah, let's look at Lyft together real quick and let me see if I can figure out how to get back to it. So hold, please. Okay, and let me just make sure it comes back up on the screen for you. I'm not a big fan of Lyft right now. I think Lyft is going to continue to drop. Um, but let me make sure that you all can see this first before I talk about it. It does take a little bit with my delay. All right, there it is. So here's the daily, right? I mean, Antonio, honestly, I was a huge Lyft fan. If you listen to Chris Sane, who I do really like, he's very smart, very good. But if you listen to Chris Sane, he's been pumping Lyft for a long, long time. Matter of fact, I did make good money with Lyft. First time it was called out by Chris and several of us that had been communicating, a lot of the different YouTubers that we do chat amongst each other. We're talking about Lyft, and I bought it. I bought calls on Lyft, longer dated calls on Lyft, and I cashed them out. I made the money, and I'm glad I did because. But the thing is, when I bought it, was probably here, at the end of the year in December, and I probably could have even stayed in and made more. But look what it's done since then, right? It has just dropped off. And it continues to drop off. $16.72, $16.76 right now in the aftermarket. Not a fan for an uptrend yet. Um, you know, but that's not to say it doesn't run. But the thing is, they've got earnings coming up on February 10th. So for me personally, if I were to be considering Lyft, I would be waiting to see what happens in earnings. I'd want to know if it jumps up, jumps down. There may be a huge opportunity to buy if you get confirmation it turns, it starts to run up, then maybe that's an opportunity to buy it to earnings. But I just don't know because here's the last earnings result right here. Okay, they had an incredible result for earnings. I mean, look what it did. Day up, 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 and then it just failed all the way back down. So, for me, if people wanted to keep it up here, they would have leveled it off and stayed here. But it failed. This level of support broke down, failed. This level of support broke down, and now it's here at this 1680 something range. So keep your eye on it, but not something that I would want to get into. Jai asked Josh, what do you think the next immediate catalyst to get the markets back in the uptrend? Oh my gosh. We need something. We need something powerful to happen right now because the issue is we're in a lot of panic selling, and a lot of people are basically jumping out of their positions to safeguard their accounts. And I cannot disagree with that at this minute, at this moment, seeing what's happening. I think if you are someone who likes to play the downtrend, then start looking at silver and start looking at gold because they are believed. The analysts say that silver specifically, probably by through the year, you're looking at a 50% drop in silver. Now I don't know that for a fact. I'm just kind of trying to run the technicals myself based on what I'm seeing. But let's go to SLV since we're talking about that, just so you can put an eyeball on it on the daily, and you're going to see that it has finally broke that amazing uptrend, and now we're doing nothing but pulling down hard. So $109.83 was the high 2 days ago. Okay, now we're sitting at $75.55, and I don't think we're done yet. I don't think it's done yet. Now, silver's part of one of those that's open, right? So it gapped down with the market. It's pulling back up a little bit. But I just personally, my personal feelings, I don't see it to recover all the way back up to over $100 anytime soon. So, let's see. Whoa, John Palladino, thank you. Yeah. All right, Jai, do you really think we are in a crypto bear market or is it a bear trap to shake up all the weak hands? Well, that's a great question. A lot of times that's what happens. A lot of times they flip the switch and they push it down to shake out the weak, right? That's why I've got a lot of positions in different stocks like SMR, RGTI. There's certain stocks I'm in, Palantir, that, are down right now, but they're not out. And I believe that they do push them down very hard to shake out the weak, to shake out those that are not, uh, you know, in it for the long haul. Now, as a day trader, I tell you all the time, buy low, sell high, and wash, rinse, repeat. But my long term retirement account, I don't want to manage it like that, like a day trader. I want to have stocks in there that, to be that story where I bought a stock at $4, and 10, 15 years from now, when I am retired, I go and look at my account and go, wow, I'm glad I bought it at $4 because it's now a $200 stock, right? So I believe that's a bit of both. I don't have the crystal ball, Jai, but I would tell you, I think it's a bit of both. I do believe we're in a crypto winter. I do believe that we're going to see more downtrend on the crypto overall. And I think that the administration, the White House, used to do an amazing job overall talking about how they, the difference between the last administration and this administration was they were not pro Bitcoin or pro crypto. This administration is pro crypto, and they talked about it all the time, and that's why it pumped to exceptionally high new levels. But we're not really there right now. We're not talking about it a lot. We're busy talking about other things. We're busy focused on Canada and China and Iran and all these other things that are absolutely, as far as I'm concerned, noise. So I think it's a little bit of a winter bear market, but you've got to watch for confirmation. You've got to wait and look to see what the candles are doing, what is structure holding, where is the support and resistance levels. Something like Bitcoin, Jai, my recommendation is that you run the levels and just build your levels and keep building a new level down, and just understand what they're doing. So when it does turn and start to break up and show you confirmation of the turn to a bull uptrend, then you're ready to go if that's something you're going to do. But like I said, it's not like all of us are running out buying Bitcoin, but I do buy fractured shares of Bitcoin, but BMNR and those other ones, 100%. You are welcome. All right. Well, listen, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate each and every one of you. If you, let me see here real quick. There we go. All right. If you're here for the first time, thank you so much for being here. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that notification bell so you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. If you are interested, jump in and join the Discord. We'd love to have you in there. We're trying to make it as valuable as possible. And really, it's kind of funny because, even my brother-in-law, he's part of the Discord with us, and he tells me all the time, man, you have got this amazing, like, tight knit group. Like, you guys really are a family in that Discord. It's crazy, how we are, growing together, supporting each other, sharing our levels, sharing, things we're getting in and out of, smacking each other around when we're maybe you're thinking about doing something that's not the best. But it is a great community, and I'm blessed to be part of that community. And thank each and every one of you that are members, and I thank you for all the subscribers. We hit over 2,000 subscribers. We're at 2,003 subscribers as of this afternoon. So thank you for getting us over the 2,000 mark. I'm excited to continue to see this grow. I'm excited to continue to see this channel and what it's going to do for us in the future. But just remember, stay healthy, both healthy in your physical sense, financial sense, spiritually. I'm going to throw that out there because I've been very vocal lately about my own personal faith. Whether you believe that or not, I pray for each and every one of you, and know that God has an amazing plan for each and every one of us. So stay focused, stay healthy. Let's get rich together. Thank you so much. God bless you. Josh out. Peace.